Hi everyone, it's me Catherine, and today I'm here to bring you a tag video. I hadn't originally planned to do a tag video today, but I needed to do something nice and easy and fun because the K-drama that I've been watching, the romance in it is pissing me off so much. Like seriously guys, like I have never felt so much rage knowing that my ship is doomed. Like I'm so angry. I am so mad, and so it upsets me. Like I'm actually upset that my ship is not gonna happen. Like I'm just so mad. I'm so mad. But I'm not gonna get into that today. I'm not gonna get into that because that is not what this video is about. Because today I'm doing a tag that's gonna allow me to talk about the romances that don't cause me pain, that don't make me angry. Today guys, I'm doing the Bookish Love Tag. Obviously I wasn't tagged by anyone because when am I ever? But the original was created by Novel Noise. I will link the original video and her channel in the description below for you guys to check out. But let's just get into this. Now this tag is technically a Valentine's Day tag, but I just need to talk about nice romances that don't hate me, that I don't hate. So I'm not doing it on Valentine's Day, obviously. So I mean, if you take out the Valentine's Day bit, it's just basically a tag about relationships. It's fine. It's fine. So let's just get straight into this. So the first question is 3 book boyfriends. Now obviously this is really hard to just pick 3, so my criteria for this list is people that I probably would actually date in real life if they were also interested in me. And first up we have obviously Mr. Darcy. Like obviously, and maybe a modern day Mr. Darcy, but I think in real life me and Mr. Darcy would get on really well. Like Mr. Darcy is a hard one. Like Mr. Darcy is adorable in his own quiet, stoic ways, not like Mr. Bingley adorable, who is just a puppy. Mr. Darcy is adorable in a different way, but a way that I would definitely date in real life. Next is a character from the Grisha world. Now another criteria that I gave myself for doing this entire tag actually was to try not to repeat couples and books, so to try and make it a wide range. So for this list, as much as I would like to add like all of the characters in this, 1, there's too many for it to just be a 3, and 2, like not all of them I would date in real life. So we've got the Darkling, Nikolai, Kaz and Matthias. Now the Darkling is out straight away because villain. Like I would not, like, as much as I love him in the Shadow and Bone trilogy, I couldn't date him in real life because bad guy. He does terrible, terrible things, and it's not what I want in my boyfriend. Like I would like my boyfriend to be a nice person, preferably, not someone who, you know, kills people and things like that, you know. So, out. Then Nikolai, like, Nikolai probably is the best out of all of these. Like I love Nikolai so much, and but he's sort of that guy that I think I would look at from afar and admire from a distance, but I don't think I could ever actually touch, so that's why he's not on it. Kaz out almost straight away, which is a shame because I do love Kaz. I love Kaz a lot, but I have people who also call me Kaz, and that would just get weird. It would just get very weird. So we're left with Matthias. By process of elimination, Matthias will be my other boyfriend. Not that I'm lessening Matthias and how much I love Matthias or anything, but out of the 4 of them, he would be the one that I would probably date in real life. Like, because I have a thing, like, he's adorable. Like, yes, obviously he has some issues with how he was raised and his beliefs and whatever, and I mean, not issues with his beliefs, but you know what I mean, like. But overall, like, the way Matthias. Alright, Matthias. Next. This was so hard so hard to pick three, but I went for, in the end, Khalid from the Wrath and the Dawn duology, because again, like Mr. Darcy, he's sort of this distant, stoic, quiet adorableness to him. Like, yes, obviously Khalid has done some terrible things, but obviously reasons why he's done these things, and I can accept that, because ultimately he's not a bad guy. He doesn't do these things out of malice or for petty reasons or anything. These things are done because genuinely he's a king with a massive burden on his shoulders. I would be okay, like I would be okay, because Khalid is Khalid, and he loves Shazi with every fibre of his being, and he would do anything for her, and to have that's a great quality in a boyfriend. I mean, obviously I'd still want him to be his own person and things, not just like live for me or anything, but like that. Khalid. I love Khalid and how much he loves Shazi. Alright, the next question is to pick three OTPs. Again, another tough one, but for the first one, I decided to go back to like probably my first ever, I think this was probably my first ever like ship. The first time I'd ever actively like shipped anybody. Goes way back, me and my sister getting our very first laptop and discovering YouTube for the first time. Like, I think YouTube was still relatively new at the time, like I don't think it had been around that long. But it was our first real experience with the internet and things like that, and we got lost down a hole of fanfiction videos on YouTube for Draco and Hermione from obviously the Harry Potter series. Like, obviously Hermione and Ron, fine, but I don't know if I've mentioned this, but I love Draco Malfoy a lot, and I am forever bitter that he didn't get any real sort of redemption arc. Like, he deserved so much better. If Draco had had like real friends and a real support system behind him, Hermione is great, and if those two, like, it would be perfect. It would be perfect. Next is another ship that's not actually canon, this doesn't actually happen, and it is Alina and the Darkling from the Shadow and Bone trilogy. Like, imagine if Alina had chosen to sit with the Darkling at the dinner table that time. If she'd accepted her darker side earlier, like, because it was always there and she was always fighting it and lying about it, but if she'd accepted that and then those two, it would have been terrible, because the world would have been thrown into darkness and whatever, like, and a lot of people would have died. But Lena becoming the villain, accepting that dark side, going dark, and being with the Darkling is perfect. Perfect, and no one can convince me otherwise. And my final OTP is a pairing from something that I don't think I've talked about on this channel, and it is Tamaki and Haruhi from Oran High School Host Club. Now, I first was introduced to this through the anime, and the anime ended way too soon, like way too soon. There's so much more to the manga than there is to the anime. It just stopped. But these two guys, I mean, this entire series is effing ridiculous, and Tamaki is probably one of the most ridiculous over-the-top characters ever, but I love him, and his and Haruhi's relationship and seeing it develop over the series, and Tamaki realising certain things about his own feelings, and it's so good. Favourite first kiss. Now this was easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Like, there could be no other answer for this question, and it is Simon and Baz from Carry On. Like, with all the fire, and Baz is so upset, like all the emotions rolling around in there, and then boom, the kiss. And it's magnificent. It's going to take a lot to top this first kiss for me, personally. I can't see there being anything quite topping this. Question number 4 is couple with the most sexual tension. Now I don't know if these guys have the most sexual tension and they're not actually a couple, but they were the first ones that came to mind when I read this question, and it is Safia and Merrick from Truthwitch. Like obviously only in Truthwitch, because if you've read, you know stuff happens that Windwitch, never mind. But in Truthwitch, like those two, like, because they're always so angry at each other, always at each other's throats, but you can feel like there's something else like bubbling underneath, like just waiting for the right moment to just, and so these next set of questions are basically, they follow the same sort of pattern. It is on Valentine's Day, which couple is most likely to blah blah blah. Obviously it's not Valentine's Day, so that bit doesn't matter, so just go with the question. So question number 5 is, which couple is most likely to go to a fancy restaurant? And although I haven't repeated a couple, it is technically from a different book, but it's from the same world, and this is Safia and Caden. I'm sure it was called Caden, the chiseled cheetah from Windwitch. Like, again, technically not a couple, but from the interactions between the two characters that we have seen, that we do see in Windwitch, and the fact that we know that Safia is well, she is sort of like kind of nobility, so it wouldn't be above her to go to a fancy restaurant, but I can just picture it in my head. Those two, like, she'd have to drag him there, absolutely drag him there, because he would be so uncomfortable, like in his little suit or whatever, to a fancy restaurant, and Safi being her usual Safi self, and everyone in the restaurant staring at him, but in the end they just have a really good time there. Next is, which couple is most likely to go for a walk on the beach or a quiet picnic? And for this one I have gone for Agnieszka and Sarkan, the dragon from Uprooted. Basically because towards the end of the book, like at the end of the book, Agnieszka spends a lot of time just wandering around with a basket of fruit in her hand, wandering around the forest, making the woods better. And I can just imagine her dragging, because she would have to drag him, dragging Sarkan out into the woods for a nice picnic, and him just, like, that picture in my head is it's great. Which couple is most likely to stay at home and watch Netflix? Now for this I've picked Kath and Levi from Fangirl. I mean, in Fangirl they spend a lot of time just in the room together, with Kath reading fanfic to him, which means I can easily picture them just staying at home with a bowl of popcorn or whatever, watching all of the Simon Snow films like back to back, like all the time. Like I can imagine them just sitting in doing that for a nice evening. Which couple is most likely to go dancing? And for this I've picked 2 like couples that I can picture doing that. This is not who I think is most likely, it's just who I can picture the most doing this. And the first is Cinder and Kai from the Lunar Chronicles. And what I'm picturing here is the ball, but Cinder has a foot that fits, there's no Luna there to ruin the ball, it's just them two getting to dance the night away, because they deserve it. They deserve it. And the second couple is Gansey and Blue from the Raven Boys, or quadrilogy? Quartet. It's called the Raven Quartet, isn't it? Something like that. Anyway, Blue and Gansey. Like, I don't know why I can picture it, but I can. Like, just them having the best time. Like, maybe at an outdoor concert or something, or going to a club or whatever. Like, just them two dancing, and I can just picture that so well in my head that they couldn't not be one of the answers for this question. Question number 9 is, what couple do you want to get together? And again, I've got a couple here. The first being Isolde and Iduin. I think that's how it's pronounced. I'm sure I think there's a pronunciation guide somewhere that I should have looked. But I pretty much I keep calling him Idukin, which is, it's not Iduin at all. but it's just the way it's spelled, that's just how I keep pronouncing it. But anyway, Isolde and Idwin, like, if that's not where this is going, then I'm going to be very disappointed, because I can just, that has to be how it's going, that has to be the way it's going, like, the stuff that those two have been through so far, like, it has to go that way. If it doesn't, I will be very disappointed. Very disappointed. And the other one I know is never going to happen. It is never going to happen, but I still hold on. I'm still holding on to it, and it is Chaol and Dorian from the Throne of Glass series. Now, we all know that it's never going to happen. A, because all the relationships in this series are heterosexual, and B, because Chaol's not there. Chaol's not there, and just no. Chaol and Dorian, like, they were meant for each other. They were meant for each other, and I don't care what anybody else says. Chaol and Dorian were meant for each other. And the final question is, what is a couple that you hate that everybody loves? Now, this is not a couple that I hate, and I have no idea if everybody loves it, but I couldn't think of one that actually fit this question perfectly. But it's a couple that I don't particularly like, and I've never been on board with, no matter how many times I've read the series, and it is Remus and Tonks from Harry Potter. I've never been sold on it. I've never believed in it, and actually the more I read the series, the more annoying it gets to me, and I just don't buy it. Like, I don't feel anything for it. I just can't get on board with it, and I'm sorry. Sorry, guys. I don't hate it, but I don't believe it. I just don't believe it. Don't believe it. So anyway, guys, that is the Bookish Love Tag. I feel a bit better now talking about things that I love and that don't hurt me, that don't cause me pain, and maybe I will grow to accept. No, who am I kidding? I'm never going to accept it. I'm never going to accept it, because the romance that Catherine, stop. It makes me so mad, Like, I couldn't sleep last night because I'm so angry. I'm so tired right now, and that is not helping my rage at all, but it's just, whoo! But anyway, guys, that is the Bookish Love Tag. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments below some of your favourite ships, some of your OTPs, and I will hopefully see you in another video. Bye! So much. But my criteria, okay, so let me start this again. If things could have been so much better for Malfoy, because he was like Simon Snow films, ow, and I just can't get on board with it. I can't get on board with it. On board with it. I have to get around to rereading it. I actually have to get around to buying the rest of the series first. Like, that's the first thing. You have to buy the rest of the series, then you can read it. Okay, next question.